Let's face facts. Not everybody needs or even wants a top-of-the-line phone with a million different features. Yes, it is nice to have a phone with a Snapdragon 805 CPU, 3GB of RAM, a 2K display, but it's simply not needed. For most everyday non-tech savvy people, don't take full advantage of everything that a high-end phone has to offer, and it's just a huge waste of money. After all, new flagship phones cost about $700, and that is a lot of money, my friends. That's why, for a lot of people, a budget phone makes sense. Let me give you guys a quick example. So me and my family just switched to T-Mobile, and we had to buy new phones. So I'm a huge geek, I value technology, so I spent a lot of money on the Nexus 6. But my parents use their phones to do basic tasks like calling people, texting, emailing, and so on. So buying them an expensive $700 phone is just a waste because they can get a much cheaper phone that can do all that they needed to do and cost hundreds less. The only thing is, there's a lot of cheap budget phones, but most of them are just plain awful. So the phone that I ended up buying my lovely parents is the 2nd Gen Moto G, and I like this phone so much that I bought 2 of them. So let's talk about it. So the Moto G has a modest 5-inch display with a 720p resolution. For someone like my parents and the class of people that are going to be buying this phone, 5 inches and 720p is perfect. So the phone is not huge, it is still easy to hold in one hand, but still big enough to easily see the content on the display. 720p makes it an HD display that has a decently high pixel density that is just under 300. One of the best things about this phone is that it stays up to date, and this is a huge deal with cheap phones because most cheap phones, once you buy it, they don't get any updates, and that's not good. But the Moto G is on the latest update of KitKat and will be upgraded to Android 5.0 very soon after it launches. Being up to date has lots of benefits. Some of the main ones is that it helps the phone stay fast, and it helps to improve the battery life of the phone because with every update, they always optimize the OS a little bit more. While on the topic, the Moto G has an average 2070 mAh battery capacity. For a geek like myself that uses their phone a lot, this is pretty bad, but once again, this is aimed at the casual person, so they will have no issue getting at least a whole day of usage out of this phone. Moving on, the camera is nothing special, but it does get the job done. It comes in at 8 megapixels, it can film 720p video, but some advice: don't try to take photos with this phone at nighttime because it's not going to come out good at all. But with the good lighting conditions, it can make a good looking photo. The Moto G actually has dual front-facing speakers, which is something you don't see too often on any phone, let alone a budget device. So that's a phenomenal feature to have. It also has a 1.2 GHz quad-core CPU running the show, which is a little bit on the low end, but because this phone does run a stock version of the OS, the CPU is just fast enough to make the phone feel responsive. The phone ships with 8 GB of memory built into the device, but it does have expandable memory via microSD. And once again, on a budget phone, that is an awesome thing to have. So final thoughts. The Moto G is the best budget phone you can buy. It only costs $180, so less than $200, and you get so much for your money. If you're looking to buy a budget phone, there's no reason not to buy the Moto G. But let's say you have a little bit more money to spend, then the Nexus 5 is a fantastic option. It has amazing specs, and it's just a fantastic phone, and it costs $350, completely unsubsidized, which is a good deal. But let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Also like the video and subscribe to the channel if you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you fine people in the next one. Peace out and God bless.